WPRS HD2 Waldorf.
Welcome to the Carmiece Graves Radio Show.
HD2 Washington. WMJ HD2 Bethesda. And worldwide.
Wait, I don't want. Well, I guess it's gonna have to be vertical. Sorry, y'all. Didn't have that abrupt turn.
News Talk 1450 WOL, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management. Good morning and welcome to the Carmiece Graves Show. Get ready to get great information on knowing your rights, out-of-state planning, bankruptcy, divorce, alimony, and much more. Now, for today's show, here's attorney Carmiece Graves.
Good morning. I used to say, good morning. I just give you a little Kirk, good morning. That's the mood we're in today. We're on it. It's fast. It's March. I thought we'd have like a 65-degree, like spring preview day by now. We are so spoiled here in the DMV. Like, is it still cold? But anyway, thanks so much for tuning into the Carmiece Graves Radio Show. I'm attorney CPA Carmiece T. Graves, and I got the mic. So today we are going to talk about family law, okay? Because you guys always get the benefit of what's actually happening and going down real time and live at the Carmiece Graves Law Firm, CGLF. The Carmiece Graves Law Firm. So I'm getting used to this acronym I'm using, but I guess if it doesn't spell anything, I don't know if it's technically an acronym. So anyway, but I think so. But anyway, so we're going to talk about family law today, and I'm going to tell you guys, honestly, I mean, people say don't toot your own horn, but I'm going to do it. The benefit of the Carmiece Graves Law Firm, having that accounting background while backing you up when your money's at stake, yeah, you might want that. You might want that skill, and that's the one that this girl possesses as a CPA and an attorney, and it is really adding so much value to my clients. It's unbelievable because I just got to say it. I mean, most lawyers don't know accounting. And a lot of times, sometimes we are litigating issues, that really involve your money, your financial, picture, your business. We're going to talk about your business during divorce. It's a big deal. That's a big asset. And you probably had it for a while. It's matured. And now you're getting divorced and they want to talk about your bread and butter business. I think definitely you're going to want someone that understands the ins and outs of what's really going on in those financial statements. I had them beat, y'all. I had them beat. It is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. And you know something? I'm going to tell you guys this. It's so funny. Because as a young litigator, because I've been practicing law for 13 years, and half of that time now, time is flying, half of that time has been spent as a litigator. The first part was as a corporate and finance attorney and then policy advisor for our president, Barack Obama. Yes, I get to say Barack Obama. Okay, I did that. It was wonderful. Many benefits. I'm so blessed. So we're going to talk about that because it's really not, people always say I'm so blessed, like God just selected you and ding, 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 you got blessings. It's like, well, where's mine at? I mean, God, are we discriminating right now? I mean, do we have some discrimination? Do I need to run a Title 14 or something? Action suit against you, Lord? What's going on with blessings? You just give them out to who you want? No, it's not the case. Blessings are always available to all of us all the time, but you have to do your work, which is really get into a place of receiving the messages. Oprah just goes into this so wonderfully about how it's a whisper, how really the inclinations that she has followed were very subtle. And I'm always trying to fine-tune myself so that I can receive blessings. And I've been doing okay along the way. And the key thing about that, y'all, is not being blown. You cannot be blown. You cannot be in a constant state of upset, nervousness, worry, doubt. You're not going to get the signals. You're not going to get the whispers. The universe, universal force, God source, whatever. We all know that same entity force that we're talking about, where all the good stuff comes from. It's always sending you signals. But if you're upset, mad, blown, angry, worried, stressful, doubt, depressed, you're not going to hear it. You're not going to hear it. And that's usually, not usually, that is the absolute roadmap to your treasures, okay? It's just treasures, but you got to listen. So you got to chill. You got to really surrender, and put down the fight. Because I was wondering when I was coming over here, we're going to get to business valuations, but I'm just going to really clear my mind just a little bit. Because my engineer, Lonzo, he really put it out there. He asked me this question, and it's still on my mind. Have we advanced, as a community. And people are always asking us that. Well, I think we've attained more rights, you know what I mean? But when you look at the quality of the relationships, I'm doing family law. We're going to talk about family law today. And I'm seeing, a couple generations down, they still, I have heartbreaking experiences sometime in the courthouse. I'm there in other business, and I'll see a young girl, 20-something, pushing a, stroller around the courthouse crying, because she's trying to figure out how to get child support filed, because she's heartbroken that the baby is an infant, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 months, 5 months old, and the relationship's over. The relationship's over. So how is this devastated, heartbroken young woman going to be on her feel good, to feel enthusiastic about her future, to feel excited about creating a career and making money and enjoying and exploring the world, when all she's really steeped in right now is heartbreak? And I had a little talk with the clerk's office about that. I was over there and I was filing some stuff, and another woman is just losing it. You know what I mean? Losing it. She is done. She is gone. And the hard thing about family law, and I think another value added I bring, is being a Buddhist. What would the benefit be of having an attorney that's a Buddhist? Yeah, I'm a Buddhist. 19 years. I've been a Buddhist longer than I've been only an accountant. Only being an accountant predates Buddhism. But that's putting some age on mama, because I got a couple decades in both, But that wisdom really goes to kind of spiritually and emotionally what you need to do to get up out of family law situation and financial situations, all situations. So the question that was posed to me, I think that, I don't know, if I were just to guess, because I can't really teleport myself back, to where we were before, because I wasn't there, but I get a sense from the music, from even just singing the Black National Anthem, that those people, our ancestors, were spiritually stronger, more spiritually in tune, because it was real. So I put it out there to you guys. Do you think that we have acquired more rights in exchange for our spiritual alignment and how deep we were as a people? Or do you think we are as spiritual as we were when we were under greater stresses of Jim Crowism and all that? I wonder. So I'm not going to answer the question for you, but I'll put it out there because I think about it and I care about it. And I know that getting the benefits that we want, to do that, you really have to be in alignment. Alignment is where it happens. Alignment is where it unfolds. And that's what we're up to. So when it comes down to family law and business and your business, so let's talk about that, because this is a case that we are settling. And when it comes down to your business, it's an asset. It's an asset that you have. It's an asset on your personal financial statements. So the business itself has financial statements, how it's doing, how it's growing, whether it's making money, whatever it is, whether it's $1 million business, $500,000 business. That's the question. First, it's going to be, you have to do the analysis on it like you do for any other marital asset or alleged or asserted marital asset. Is it a marital asset? Now, if you acquired this asset, now you're going to really see this rule. It's going to matter a lot. You're going to see it really clearly, because folks get this confused sometimes with other assets. But this business one is going to show you really clearly about appreciation of an asset. So you may have started the business. A part of the question is going to be, did you start the business before the marriage? Most people do this simple analysis that if I had the asset before I was married, it's mine. Not really. Because if it appreciated a whole bunch during the course of the marriage, that's in, okay? So you see how all this accounting, those are our terms. Appreciation, depreciation, valuation, assets, all that comes from the house of the accountants, the CPAs. That's our shop. So to have that information at my fingertips, boy, it'd be going down, because I'd be doing that accounting analysis, doing that legal analysis, spitting out them numbers. Them cats would be like, go back to your book, kid. Go back to your CLE on accounting for lawyers. Go back to your CLE, son. You ain't ready for this conversation. But let me break it down to y'all. So this is how it goes. So the business, you acquired it at some point. Let's say you acquired it before you got married, because some of y'all always think, well, I had the asset before I got married, so it's titled to me and it belonged to me. Well, not in Maryland and D.C. Not necessarily. That is not what the analysis ends, because you got to do the next part. The next question is the juicy question, okay? This is the juicy question, is how much did this business appreciate during the course of the marriage? And that's the question for every asset. It's not just when you got it. It's also how much did it develop during the course of the marriage? Were marital assets used to pay for this asset, prepare this asset, upkeep of this asset? So, here's things that folks don't realize, because this is so offensive. Wait till I tell you this, you're going to be so mad. You're going to be so mad. So your money that you make during your marriage is marital property. Ain't nobody come to work with me. He was not there. I only saw me at my desk. Only my name on that check. Only my name on that resume that got me that job. But we are one now. We got married. We are one economic body that is a part of the marriage. Marriage is a contract, y'all. Marriage, there's rules. There are rules that are by default in every state statute that tell you how this is going to go, what you can do, what you can't do, and if you want to break the contract, divorce are the terms of how to get out of there. But if you want to dissolve it, and I want it to last and be a benefit to you, so long as it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is adding to your happiness, growth, in time here on this earth, if it's adding value. If it's not adding value and it's making you miserable, you might need to go talk and get some marriage counseling to sort that out and figure out what you need to do to get happy. But so say you're like, didn't work, I'm out. Okay, let's do it. So there's rules. There's rules, because you come in here and you're one economic union. You get all these benefits. So society has all these rules. You get these tax benefits. You get these health benefits. You get all these benefits, wife, husband, wife, husband, husband, wife, husband, husband, wife, wife, whatever you want to do. Then you say, I don't want to be in this anymore because something bad has happened. Then there's rules on how to get out. And how we evaluate the property is one of them. You're one economic union. So that money that you got, you make the money together. You guys are one economic body when it comes to the law, and everything that you marshaled and appreciated and grew together through the union of your bond and your marriage, that is marital property. So we are going to look to see how much it is appreciated. Business valuations. How do you do that when you got a business? Now, before I move on to the business valuations and what that means, so these rules. Now, we are marrying for to be with someone that helps you be your best self. When you're around this person, they bring out your best self, help you, promote your best attributes. It's not going to be like that all the time, of course, but for the most part, majority of the time, that's what you got going on, right? 2 minutes. Makes life here better. Okay, so there's going to be these rules of how this thing goes in terms of you imagine this imaginary contract. You see the license, that's part of it. But the part that's not written down are these imaginary rules on how property is going to appreciate during the marriage. Like this business we're talking about. They say, well, as soon as we get married, from that date on, we're going to split 50-50 the appreciated value of this asset, whether it's the house, whether it's the car, whether it's the antiques. As long as something, like antiques, I don't know about that one. I'm not going to go too far because each asset has its own analysis. But I'm going to give you a generalized statement, because you also have to use some. So if you had something of value that your grandmother gave you and all you had to do is hold it, nothing from the marriage made that appreciated value. So I would argue that that's non-marital. But say if you had a house that you had before you were married, and now y'all using the money from the marriage to pay the mortgage or something like that, you have to think about that. So it's the analysis is very particular. But today we're going to focus on your business and what that analysis looks like and what you need to be thinking about in terms of a divorce, your LLC. This could be your main bread and butter, lawyer, doctor, big LLC, So we're going to check in with traffic and weather. You're tuned into the Carmiece Graves radio show. I'm attorney CPA Carmiece T. Graves. Please stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in. Be right back. Yeah, so this is going to deal with the controversial question of a prenuptial agreement. Do you want to change the rules? But yeah, today's title, I had a really good, fun time with settling this case. And yeah, there is a big benefit for being a CPA in family law matters because people don't be really knowing what these financials are saying in the footnotes, what they're designed to do, how they're swayed. We're going to talk about a business valuation case that I've been working on for some time now, and it's really important. Even when you do basic stuff, when you're in business and you're going to be moving forward on child support, divorce, estate planning, anything involving your business, you definitely want someone. And I'm not saying that other lawyers don't have it, but it probably takes them a lot of time and a lot of trial and error to acquire it because it's not the intuitive skill. It is the ancillary skill that they need to do their job. But with me, I got it. It's there. It's coming together quite nicely. With 100% white meat. That's facts. Only $5. It's finger licking good. 31 degrees, sunshine heading up to 39. I'm Angela Foster, 1450 AM, 95.9 FM, WOL, where information is power. And we're back to the Carmiece Grace radio show. You guys might engineer it's so funny. It's so funny. Some of the behind the scenes things. But you always see me looking over. That's who I'm looking at. He's kind of making sure we are introing and outroing and we're transitioning. But today, we're going to be talking about your LLC in divorce. And that issue. So you got a business, So we're going to get into it, but we got to talk about this idea. I want you to understand what a prenuptial or antenuptial agreement does. Okay, so there's rules in the background that say, hey, if you didn't talk about it, you will, and you don't want to deal with it, fine. Just like estate planning, we'll write down some rules, and you'll go by those rules. Right? Now, they're there. So there is a body of law that's anticipating things not working out and how they should be resolved. Now, whether you want to directly face that and look at that, I completely understand both sides of that. You don't want to dwell in it and maybe get the law of attraction going on your divorce before you good settled in your marriage. I get it. But then when people get divorced and they don't have it, everybody be appalled like, oh, I can't believe that person had all that money, ain't had no prenup. They ain't had no, be something, have no prenup. Well, no, he didn't. He didn't know Amazon was going to be what it was. So let's roll with it. So like say, like everybody else, just married for love, didn't know he was going to blow up, had an idea, but this marriage helped you. And the concept behind it is really nice that I like. The concept behind this idea is that this union made you better. This union made you shoot for the stars and you made something wonderful happen. This union gave you good rest at night and good wake-ups in the morning and, comfort through the hardships and rah, rah, go, go. Now, if you sit into my dish, that wasn't my man. Now, you might think about it. I don't know. I'm not judging. Finding that alignment is part of our life's journey here. It's not easy, but that's what it's supposed to be doing, But anyway, so this business asset is going through divorce now. And it is one of the assets, and we have to figure out how much it's worth. That's the first thing. First, is it an asset? Now, the only way really to make it not be an asset and not be subject to divorce is these antenuptial and prenuptial agreements. Be like this, look, and I think this would be so cool. You wouldn't have to get into a whole bunch, but like, look, if this don't work out, you keep your 401k and I keep my business. Okay? Just don't, babe, of course, babe, I would never take your 401k. I love you, of course, no problem, we good, because it's not about that. We married for love, so if we break up, let's remember the love, remember? Now, you want to come digging in my pockets because you're mad and you're bitter. No. So anyway, let's say that's how you would change that rule. Prenuptial, antenuptial agreements. Some states recognize antenuptial agreements. Antenuptial meaning that it's executed after you were married. So maybe you didn't have a business, you got married, and now you want to go into a partnership with somebody, LLC, 3-member, whatever. Now, that's a tip for small business partnerships or multi-member LLCs. Now, okay, you may require, you could, and I've seen it happen. People say, I'm not getting into business with you unless you sign off on this. Unless you say that that this business will not be subject to your divorce, because I'm not trying to deal with people coming in here because you and your wife or man done fell out. That's fair. Okay, free tip now. This is what we do on this radio show. Give good information out to y'all. That's useful. So anyway, you take that risk knowingly. You have faith. You done did your work. You done did your spiritual alignment. You know this your soulmate, so you're not tripping. But maybe you got it wrong, and it ain't work out. And now we got to deal with divorce. Life happens. Can't be mad at yourself. Live life. Okay? So what's the first thing we got to do? We have to put a number value on the business. So say this business developed all the way, you were married and then this business started. So that's not an issue. So now we go through the process of valuing the business. This is something that as a CPA, that is one of the things that, how in the law, there's different types of lawyers you can be. And our side on the accounting world, there's different types of accountants we could be, certified financial accountants, certified public accountants, and some of these people do business valuations, okay? And what it is it's a future projection about the earnings, looking at what you did over maybe past 5 years, using a couple different valuation methodologies, cash flow method, that means how much cash went through the business, revenues, how much money you made, because sometimes you do, I'm not going to get technical, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose y'all. I feel it. Okay, because I was getting jazzy. I was going to get on down. I was going to get in the weeds, baby. But anyway, that's what I do. And that's the value added to you, to have someone that can look at this case from a legal standpoint, and right there, boom, I understand everything that just happened. Well, you have to value the business. So we're going to get a business valuator, and they're going to come in and they're going to request documents. And you can see why, if this is your partnership, you like, we got to give our books to who? For what? What? Okay, that's what you'd have to do. Give me your, bank statements, give me your tax returns, give me a, document list of documents. And now we're going to, for a number of years that we will decide upon. And that's the preliminary. And I'm telling you, this stuff is expensive. If my case would have went to trial, man, you're spending way, you could have probably hired someone for a year in the amount of money you about to spend just on the fact that this is a contested business valuation issue, because we're going to have the experts come in, we're going to have them go ahead and produce financials, and here it is you don't really want your attorney to be learning from the business valuator and then trying to craft the legal argument. You want someone that fundamentally understands what they did, identifying any mistakes, understanding all the assumptions, and then using that knowledge. It's just like, I didn't do it. I ain't had time to do it. You do it. And now tell me the results, and I'll bake that into an argument. And knowing it really helps, because people will put crazy things out there. They'll try you. You know what I mean? And if you don't know any better, you might negotiate that nonsense, so it really matters. But so this asset, it's going to be valued. We're going to put a number on it, and then we're going to figure out whether it's all marital, whether all that was acquired during the marriage, whether there's any dissipation, whether there's, some waste, maybe there was something intentionally done to devalue the business. That can be an issue. But the key thing is, here is you can choose to have your business not be a part of that, or understand what could happen in terms of a business valuation, and they're pretty costly, and if you litigate it, it's ungodly. But know that is an asset that you have to plan for. You have to plan for. It's also, like we say in estate planning, that's why all my areas really flow together. I was like, in bankruptcy, don't want that. But in estate planning, you're going to have to think about, how do you transition your interest in the business to whom you want, your wife, your kids. It's an asset you have to think about, you have to plan for. In divorce, it could be marital property. We'd have to value it. Then we have to, figure out what's a fair share. What's, was there a portion of it that you developed before the marriage? Was it used with funds that were never acquired a part of the marital property? Was it all trust fund money or something like that? But it's probably going to be hard to argue that none of that's marital. But the value of it can be hotly contested. How much is it worth? Because when it's your business and you're the one in divorce, you'd be like, it's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. You know what I mean? It's just a little business I have. Just a little business I have. But when you're on the other side, you're like, no, that bad boy cranks. And I know I don't know all that has to be going on with the business. I don't see all the books all the time. And that's why in litigation, you get to see that stuff. So in those instances, I really think it's really key to get really get a credible evaluator, maybe agree that this is one person we're going to use to give us a preliminary look, see if we can settle this issue. Let's just settle this. This is the number. It was done. You didn't find any, foul play. Let's move on. These are what, deal with any flare-up, last-ditch desperate Hail Mary arguments one might put out there, dispose of those quickly and easily, because you don't have to, and that's the benefit to my clients. I don't have to go and research is that true? Could that be is that plausible? That's not going to be a legal memo for me to research whether, no, the answer is no, or yes. And we can, come to the middle and figure something out. So that's my spiel on business valuations. You can use prenuptial agreements, antenuptial agreements if they're, recognized in your state to exclude that asset. Retirement may be an asset that you want to exclude. You can think about it, you know what I mean? Or not. But these issues are out there for you, and hopefully you will think about them if you are in business and your relationship is, I don't know, I hope it's going well. Hope you get some help. Hope you were moving in the right direction. But I do feel, to come back full circle, really women. We're in Women's History Month, and I think that is always going to be the central focus of us really getting some momentum, because broken-hearted women, they ain't good for nobody's community. A whole bunch of broken-hearted women, upset, not taking care of themselves, not taking care of their men, not taking care of the children. The society really, is in disarray. So definitely, in celebration of Women's History Month, let's really celebrate the women in our lives. Women, celebrate the women that you are. Even if you don't feel that you everything you want to be, acknowledge what you got going on today. Be nice to yourself. Love yourself. And thanks so much for tuning into the Carmiece Graves radio show. You guys know how to reach me. My information will play shortly after the show, but you guys can Google me. Thanks for the Facebook friends. Some of you guys, I didn't realize you were listening to the show. You seem random. I'm like, I don't know. Is this Russia? So I might have I'm sorry. Thanks for friend requesting me, like my Facebook page at Carmiece Graves Law, and I'll tune in next week. Thanks so much to share more great information from the Carmiece Graves Law Firm. Peace.
You've been listening to the Carmiece Graves Show with attorney Carmiece Graves. To reach Attorney Graves, please call 240-573-7153. That's 240-573-7153. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 10 a.m. right here on WOL 1450 AM, where information is power.
Good morning. I'm Nick Bovee.